In this video, I'm gonna show you 2 different ways to get you super cool thumbnails for your YouTube videos using your phone. Let's go.
You gotta just press record.
Hey, what's up? It's Omar Takori with Think Media, helping you build your influence with online video. And on this channel, sometimes we do tech gear reviews and tip videos just like this one. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. So here at Think Media, we get the question a lot. How do you guys create your thumbnails? And the easy answer is we use Adobe Photoshop to create the thumbnail, and then we usually use really nice cameras to take the photos of the thumbnails. And we also use Adobe Lightroom to edit the photos. It's kind of a lot, and depending on where you are in your YouTube journey, we would say you totally don't need any of those things, that you can actually just use your phone. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can use your phone and Instagram stories to actually create your thumbnails. And I just want you to keep it locked throughout the entire video, because the first way, I'm gonna show you how you can use it using your actual camera app, or you taking a photo of somebody and then including text and stuff like that. And then the second way, I'm gonna show you how you can use Google as well as unsplash.com to create a thumbnail without a human element in it, so not having to actually take a photo, which we actually use for one of our videos. So let's jump into it. So real quick, we're gonna hop into photo, and I just wanna show you a few different things that the iPhone has. Specifically, I'll be using an iPhone 11 Pro, but a lot of these tips kind of apply to previous models or similar phones. So the first thing is you could take the photo using the photo mode. This is your traditional photo that you can take, not too much heavy features going on. The option I do want you to enable is to change your aspect ratio, and that is simply going from 4:3, which is your traditional photo aspect ratio, to 16:9, which is very wide. So essentially what a thumbnail is a 9:16 ratio. It's wide in length and then short in height. And so we're gonna change that from 16:9. The next thing is you're gonna hop into your portrait mode. I love portrait mode, especially on the iPhones, because they look really good. However, there's something I would encourage you to do to make your photos look a little bit more believable, like you actually took them on a professional camera, and that is increasing your aperture. So we're gonna select the F on the top right corner of the screen, and then just make sure you're at 4.5 to around F5. And the difference is just in how blurry the background is. I find when the background is super unnaturally blurry, it just comes off as unauthentic and just isn't as moving. So I would just select 4.5 on your aperture. And just a quick power tip before I actually take the photo, use a super plain background. You don't want anything too busy, because we're gonna throw text next to the subject, and so you don't wanna have things in the way of being able to read what's going on. So whether you use a plain white wall, if you go outside, or you find maybe downtown in your city, you can find some cool colored walls. Just using super plain walls is gonna be super helpful for text. All right, we have Ruby here, and I'm gonna just set her off to the right of the photo because we wanna keep room for some text. And so I'm just going to get Ruby right, and I'm gonna tap on the screen and actually bring down the exposure by just bringing down that sun. And then Ruby, smile. Ruby, smile. Cool, and then I'm gonna do some examples not in portrait mode, so I'm just gonna use the zoom in feature. Ruby, over here. Cool. All right, so once you've taken all your photos and you actually have options to choose from, we always would encourage you to take as much as you can when you're taking the photos. Use various different emotions, use different expressions, use your fingers. Obviously for this last example, I was just using little Ruby, my daughter, but if you can control it, make sure you can look off to the side. And we actually have a video on how to increase your thumbnail game. You can check that out on the YouTube card in the description below, as well as a video I did on photo tips for your iPhone. And so I know I broke down a little bit of things when it came to the portrait mode and the regular photo mode, but there's a lot of things you can learn when it comes to what the iPhone already offers. We'll also put that video up in the YouTube card and in the description below. All right, so we'll be using Instagram to create our thumbnail. So I'm gonna open up our Instagram app, swipe right, and then swipe up from the middle of the screen. And then you can see all the various pictures we actually took. If I show you kind of like the difference between the portrait mode, so here's portrait mode. You can see Ruby's kind of like separated from the background. I didn't like any of her expressions during portrait mode, but portrait mode's great. I would find though, because it was 4:3, remember when I mentioned the difference? If I zoom in, it's gonna be really tight, which is fine. Sometimes we actually have thumbnails when it's specifically just a face, which isn't terrible, but I do like her expression in this one photo in particular. Super cute. And then, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pinch to rotate and then get the photo to fill the screen. Once we put the photo right there, then you're gonna wanna add text. Simply tap on the screen, and then we're gonna add in, just for the sake of the video, and make sure you can use all caps. So I'll be how to be cute like me. Exclamation point, exclamation point. Then same thing, we could pinch and zoom our text to rotate it. And then obviously we want it to be super legible because people will be reading this on a very small screen. Some other things you can do is add a box around your text. If you wanted to add a box, that kind of helps. That's cool. But for the sake of this example, I am just gonna keep it normal. Right here where it says strong, you could tap that and change your font as you like. But just make sure you choose a font that's easy to read. If it's hard to read, then nobody's gonna know what your video is on, and they're probably not gonna click your video. But if we're done, I think we're done here. You're gonna hit the download button. So right here on the top, you're gonna hit this download button, and then boom, it is saved to your phone. So let's now go back into our albums, and there you have it. There's your thumbnail. What's key though is you wanna rotate this. So we're gonna go to edit, and then we're gonna just hit the box, hit the rotation button till it's in the correct form. And there you have it. And because we have a Mac workflow, I'm just going to airdrop it to my laptop. But hey, let's say you actually don't need a face in your thumbnail. What can you do? I'm gonna show you how we actually made a thumbnail without using a face and just using pictures from the internet. So let's jump into it. All right, so the first thing we wanna do is get our photo. And we get a lot of our photos for social media, but also some thumbnail use from unsplash.com. This is an internet source of freely usable images powered by creators everywhere. So unsplash.com, for this one in particular, I'm just gonna search laptop and then find the photo that I need. So then you're gonna hit the download button. It's gonna open up a page, and then you're gonna wanna save it to your photos. And then the next thing we're gonna do is actually get a Premiere Pro logo. So I'm gonna Google search Premiere Pro transparent background, and hopefully find a Premiere Pro that is just the logo itself. I'm gonna save that image. All right, so now we're ready to create our thumbnail. So I'm gonna hop right back into Instagram, into stories mode, and in the same way, I'm going to add the main photo to my thumbnail. So I'm just gonna get this right. And maybe you're wondering how we're gonna get that Premiere logo in here. I'll show you in just a second. So we're gonna add that right there. So now, and then I'm gonna close this back out. Don't close the app, just close it out. Go back into photos. I'm gonna go to the Premiere logo, and then I'm gonna copy this photo. So I'm just gonna copy the photo, like so. Go back into Instagram, and then I'm just gonna add sticker. And as you notice, it just added the logo. How awesome is that? Look at that. I'm a graphic designer, guys. This is crazy. People can't make thumbnails. Get that out of here, man. And then I'm just gonna add the text, how to start, right on the top. Caps, how to start, exclamation point, because it's that important that you learn how to start. And then I'm just gonna get this right. And once you got it all squared away and ready to go, you can just save your thumbnail. And then in the same way, we're gonna rotate it on our phone. So I'm just gonna hit edit and then rotate that bad boy like so. And there you have it. You have your thumbnail made from scratch. All right, so I hope those 2 tips served you well. And if you got value out of this video, why don't you smash the like button for me? Thank you so much. And question for you is, what camera are you using to create your YouTube videos? Are you using your phone, a Canon, Sony, or Nikon? Using Panasonic? Let me know in the comment section below, and make sure you check out our playlist on how to create content using your phone. And you can click or tap the screen right now to check that out. And I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.